Thank you, Jesus. No matter what you're going through. When I was praying for this crusade,
Thank you, Lord Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
I saw.
Father, thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Complete. I actually saw complete. I was frightened. Complete. Complete. Coming into the lives of people. And they're not coming from anywhere else, from where you're coming from. From one background. They don't want you to succeed. This is why that project is down now. The balls cannot lift anything anymore. You try to do this, it can't work. Yes, you're delivering.
After school. It in 1950, 1960 something, right?
No, like 70, 1978.
Right, Tapa 78. Okay.
You know, when God has got a purpose for you, I don't pin a machine. It trains you, you know. But you that I went through.
Sakamakamburi street kid for how long? Days, weeks, months, years?
Not years. That's okay. After around 8-9 months. I had a friend, but I did a night which call. And one and the shabby. I got a don't receive.
But vaenderera vazoshaya muganho wekugumira hazvitaurwi kaizvo zvezvo ende plus futi ndezvekunyepa ende vanonyadzisa nai vanonyadzisa vanofomora mhuri kana zita ravo kana vari kutaura kuti vanhu vavari kunyepera ivavavo noziva kuti pamwe panenge pane 1 or 2 or 3 vanenge vachitoziva life history yake vozoti chii kuvanhu manje but dai pawana mumwe munhu anokandawo pafacebook ipapo achitaura kuti ari kunyepa mukomana uyu ari kunyepa zvekuti ngaaparidze shoko chete kwete kunyepera vanhu kochiko chakadaro naimi ende vanonyadzisa baba
kana akasasangana nazo iye vana vake vachaita dambudziko kana vana vevana vake they have to face the music because baba vavo kana bhaibheri ravanoverenga iyo rakataura kuti no mucharipira zvivi zvababa venyu muchazviripira but uyo aita extreme. Do you know kuti even parufu pamai vake hana kuya? I think because of that street kid hoax haana kukwanisa kuuya and that's it. Hazvigoni kuti wewe utaure zvakaipa kune vanhu vakaita zvakanaka kwauri and then you get away with it and your life goes good and smooth just like that, you know. Hazvigoni kuita saizvozvezvo. Baba vako namai vako nyange vakaita varoi vavakiri pavanogara vachengetedzi zita ravo usataurire nhema ispe lying about them. Amai vake chaivo kana baba varivo vakamita street kid right, of course mai vanga vana saved. Amai vake pavakafa, do you know the guy didn't attend? Haana kuuya. Haazutaura kuti ane ma-restrictions from UK just like some of the guys wekuti haakwanisi kupinda muzimbabwe. Aitokwanisa kusvika kuzimbabwe mufundisi wezayo jaka haana kukwanisa kuuya ikoko because of the concept yake yaakamanufacture ye-street kid and stuff. Kuvana vake he doesn't care about them. much, in the sense that vana vake are the guys who are gonna pay, because the guy is more towards 70 than 60, just like I was saying. Do 57. One, we're going to 2025. Yeah, it's just getting there.
I met someone mumwe pastor nefamily yake. Apparently this pastor akaita stroke, saka he is mwana we wachanzi ihama yomumwe mukomana ndozivana naye, saka I drove kuenda kuhospital kwanga ari kuita sei vanenge vakuuya kamapasta papa. So all along wadini ndeve ZAOGA, ndafunga ndeve AFM, andonzwa manamatiro avo manje, ndakati imuri paZAOGA here, zvakanzi tiri ZAOGA. Saka ndakatanga ndabvunza samana ndikashanda ko Jaricha munomuziva, zvakanzi Jaricha, which Jaricha? Ndakati Jaricha the father, I'm electrical engineer, akasiya basa akauya kuZAOGA. Zvakanzi tomuziva ari kuOxford. Ndakati I worked with them. Zvakanzi are you with Jaricha chakura? Ndati ko Alexio Vareta munomuziva here? Zvakanzi who is Alexio Vareta? Ndakati okay, akunzi Mike. Zvakanzi how do you know him? Ndakati we grew up together. His father was very rich. Kwese watakakurira ndeyanga ari the richest man. Andinotaura ndehama yangu. Zvakanzi really Vareta? Ndakati baba kangu akapfuma zvisingaite, vandasiyana nazvo.
Haya, zvakaoma. Saka vanenge vachiedza kuexpressa chii right kana vachiita unhu hwekudaro kuti vari kunyepera Mwari, zvavari kutonyatsoziva kuti zvavari kutaura ndezvekunyepa, ozviita muparidzi ari kuparidza shoko kune vanhu. Saka vanoti hazvisi kuonekwa here nevanhu veukama. Saka kurova
munhu waMwari makatini.
Takasimba makadini baba.
Aiwa, tinofara, thank you. Nenyaya makamboposta iyo yekuti imi makanga muri a street kid. Hachisi chokwadi kaicho. Munotaura naSimba Chikanza kuZim ai. Ukutika muri yenyu vari kucomplaina kakuti vanoti imimi makareswa zvakanaka, you were raised well, and your parents were not at all poor, and yet imimi muri kuti you were raised as a street kid, and then now you are an anointed preacher. Akusi kuda kugadzira here zvinhu zvisiri zvapo mufundisi?
Kana vanhu vacho vari kutaura izvozvo vanogona kunge vasingatozivi background yavo. They don't even know.
Ndinayo mhuri yenyu mufundisi, ndinogona kutokutumirai marecordings izvozvi. So mufundisi ndorega here
inini manje ndakaita street kid after school kuine ugondo kumusha, handina kukwanisa kudzokera. Vese vanotaura izvozvo vana adiki and the firstborn, they don't handambozvitanangurira munhu. Remember, you see, ndichingobva kuchikoro, I was in Chipinge. Ndakatogara kuchikoro ikoko nokuda kwekuti handaikwanisa kudzokera kumusha vakuine hondo. Tichigara nacoach, and because I was very good at football, coach akanditora akagara neni ndichiita mabasa ekutoreza mari yemafizi, because ndaikwanisa kudzokera kumba kuti nditotora mari yefizi. Ndapedza chikoro ndopandakanogara muHarare.
Iri 1950, 1960 something, right?
No, like 1978.
Right, upper 78. Okay.
Ndapedza chikoro kudaro ndobva ndauya kutown, ndikatadza kugara nehama, ndikapomerwa mhosva dzisingazivi, unongoziva mashandiro aSatani. Ndikatodzingwa, ndakatanga ndadzingwa nahanzvadzi yangu, ndikazodzingwa nasekuru, ndikatambura manje ndano street. Hapana anozviziva izvozvo. Nobody knows that.
Right, saka mustreet makwako Harare uko.
Kwako Harare.
Okay, 78.
79.
Or 79.
That must be Simba Chikanza. Vanhu vanongotaura vachida kutanyisa zita remunhu. It was never handina kana wandikazombodzitaurira chinhu izvozvo. And I have got a lot of things zvakaitika in that period zvanisingagona kukutsanangurira. A lot. zokuvengwa from nowhere. You know, when God has got a purpose for you, anokupinza machine. He trains you, you know. Kuti umire ugone kuzomira pamberi apo. That's the training that I went through.
Saka makamuri street kid for how long? Days, weeks, months, years?
Not years. Ndakazopikwa ndofunga after around 8-9 months. Ndakazopikwa nefriend watakadzidza naye kuchikoro. Akandiona ndiri shebi akatadza kutondinziva. Ndakaswedera padhuze akati, it's you. What is going on? Ndikubva ndamusanangurira kuti chamara handina kokuenda. Because right now kuti ndiende kumusha kune hondo. Kunokwashiwa kusikugarika. Saka this is where I am. Ndikubva handiti uya kumba. Andiitese kumba. Ndikubva atotitakura nemota yake tikasvika kumba. Akandipa mvura yekugeza. Atipinja atitengera hembe. All those things I never said to the people, you know. But when you reflect, when you are preaching, you reflect such kind of things, you know, in life, where you begin to see the goodness of God. You see where you actually came from those dungeons, you know, where life was not as it should.
So 8 months, Muna, 1978, 79.
78, 79. Then 1980, right, independence. That friend of mine in the other 20 mile, I think he won't appear. Enda kumusha. Ndakaenda kumusha manjeni. Ndaenda kumusha. Uvandano chakabasa. I was a temporary teacher 1981, 81, 82. Yes, 2 years. Then 82 Uvandano college for teaching.
Right.
I was a teacher from 1982 to 2004. I was a teacher. But I was answering the full call of God. There's a lot. There's nothing that I can say, especially when I am preaching. When I am preaching, I am dealing with the life or death, you know.
So, on the Papa Makava Mazenda ku Amphik Bible College?
Yes, the Amphik Bible College in 2004.
Makava Mas suspend Makormagan?
I'm still there, up to date.
And this one's sir. Doreva kuti ku Amphik?
Amphik is 3 years.
So, muna 1978, 79, muna first treaty, mkautu muharari mamia, my gari mamia, nukuti ini, I know I'm way younger than you. Ini indagazo kurira mo kuma 1980s, muharari muya, even after independence, muharari muya manga msinga pindiki muya shokumanya. So how did you manage? Because we know that the Rhodesian...
We didn't have any transport, no money, nothing. But because you could get into anything, anywhere. You see,
but do you agree that there was a deep fear, even, and a segregation against my blacks, even after independence? That if you are seen, that
you
if...
can say that, but from my own perspective, the places that I frequented was Chitungweza, Harare. Because there was nothing else to use that Sinamari, you know, with a few guys.
But Chitungweza is not Harare, Mangamati Harare. Chitungweza is a different place.
The place I frequented. Briefly, but most of the places that I was going, my peer holes, no matter what food in Sarai and Pia, and so on and so forth. It's not anything. It's not anything.
Right, you know, because you're talking to someone akambo mugara mu Harare macho na imomo akatokurira mu Harare macho, by the way, and ini ndakatombo gara right mu CBD chaimo muya kuvira 1989, and even in 1989 it was not easy kuoneka uchingoita loita. But my point is, inini from
it doesn't mean kuti unenge uri mustreet.
But ndimi kamataura kuti manga muchigara mustreet naimufundisi.
Aiwa inzwai. Mustreet munogarwa handiti. But azvile kuti all the time unenge uri mustreet. Handiti.
So unongori pai.
Ndo zita raishanda that particular time. You know. Ndo zita raitoshanda iko. What name would you give to somebody who is homeless? Anooneka mastreet achitsvaga food. What name would you?
Ndo pandikureva ipapo kuti mufundisi ipapo ka. The security situation in that area kwamataura from 1978. No, manga muine vanhu but zvamuri kutaura kazviri inconsistent ne the reality ye 1978 Rhodesia. 1978 Rhodesia munhu mutema anga asingangofambi zvekumhanya mu CBD. Doesn't that even make it worse? Doesn't that even make it worse? Now by your age kamfundisika. Someone akazvara kuma 1950 in 1978 manga matova munhu mukuru.
Kana ukapindwa nenhamo. Wakapindwa nenhamo. Unongoti chauya. Handiti kunozviziva. You are like those 4 lepers. Unozikutaura kana kuti akomana takaramba tiri pano tiri kunzobe kutara. Tinofana nzara. Zvakangofanana ufusiri kufa ndokupi. You see, when you are in that desperation, I think you understand where I'm coming from. If you are desperate, you can do the unusual. You can do the unfamiliar. The uncommon. Is that what you do?
Because what I know is...
When I'm preaching, that's how I take it. I take it from there. When you are in a situation, many times, you know, you begin to see things in a different way.
In 1978, anyone aionekwa achita loiter in that area, either aitorwa nemapurisa kana kuti aendeswa away. That is, you know what? The
if you were to be an interviewer,
anogona kusiyana mfundisi. Ma circumstances mfundisi anogona kusiyana. Asima facts akavunzwa ka. Aiwa ma circumstances anogona kusiyana. Ndosaka mavunzwa ka kuti saka imimi muna 1978 machuna maikwanisa say because back then as a black person, a young man, you were not a child anymore in 78, judging by your age. You were now actually a man who could easily be a terrorist, regarded as a terrorist, a liberation fighter. Apinda Imomo, who is loitering around, who could easily cause mayhem. And the security situation there was very clear. To the skin color, unless if you were colored, you would not survive a day in Harare CBD, as you said at the beginning, Pai.
Andiri munhu kana achitsvaga news anotsvaga kuneti source kana source yakuudza unenge wakuita sei manje kana akakuudza kuti this is what is happening unenge wakumuinterview possibilities nema theories aunenge uinawo here as a journalist kana kuti unongotora zvauri kupiwa izvozvo. What happens? Because makatanga kunditi zvawakasangana nazvo hazvisirizvo. In the face of God. I'm telling my whole truth. This is exactly what was happening. Whether it was God's protection, or whether it was, you know, or the divinity of God that surrounded me at that particular time, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. But eventually, you would then begin to see, it's just like an accident where you see the car is crashed to beyond repair. But you come out with no scratch, nothing, no ribs broken, nothing. And then when you look at the car, you are saying, how did I survive? Such circumstances that we are talking about. That's exactly what I am telling you.
So basically, I thank you. Maybe as a conclusion to get to the end, your statement there, could you, as a young man in your early 20s, managed to survive 9 months in Harare CBD, and without a police case.
Only. I said Harare Chitungwisa.
Oh, you stated whatever the case, but it's you, the time that I've given there is what you gave me. You told me 8 months. You said 8 to 9 months. So so your testimony there should really be, don't you think, in the public, should be how I managed to survive in Rhodesia CBD, Salisbury CBD as a black person and was never arrested, and a black young man who could have easily caused damage, or was so easily suspectable to the security forces at any time. I managed to survive in there. I never got arrested. There was never any issue raised about me. And here I am. Now I am called of God. Don't you think that if you were to say that, then your story would make sense?
You think, yeah, oh, that's what you think, as an addition to what was happening. Yes, as a way of, getting into deeper details. You can include such kind of statements. You can include.
But that really should be.
A preacher and a journalist.
Sorry, so what does a preacher do? A preacher lies.
No.
So, why?
I would never lie on the pulpit.
Okay, hear me. Myself, Mfundisi, I'm not just.
That's not the only miracle that I can talk about. I can talk about the multitude of things.
Yeah, but we want to talk about this particular miracle, Mfundisi, because I also come from Harare myself. I also grew up in that very same place. I myself, in 1986, when people saw me loitering in that place as a young man, I was taken to Harare Central. I had to stay at Harare Central for 3 days. That is after independence. You're telling me you were way older.
After independence.
Yes. So this is now, mine was now 1986, and I was a minor. You were an adult. You were a freedom fighter age. Right? You are in the age group of Vana Christopher Muchangwa. Am I wrong? You're in the age group of Vana Chris Muchangwa, who were in Mozambique and Zambia fighting over there. So you would not have been, you could not even loiter for 1 hour in Salisbury CBD. And not, and yeah. And so that should be your testimony. Am I wrong, Pastor?
So that's the way things were. Just like I have given an example. Remember Kakura Muri you did not go the same way. Although you came from the same mother, but your different paths, in navigating life has been quite different. And that's all I think even when we talk about my situation.
Yeah, but I can never say I was a street kid, because I was not.
Because I don't know what agendas you have in picking my story, and you don't even know those people who will give you the information, how much we relate to each other. You don't even know that.
Okay, so what I have, Mfundisi,
You also give me time, Aline.
Okay, sure. So in any what I have, Andina agenda, just so that you know, Mfundisi, Andina agenda, because you and I have never met before, and I think you can agree, all that there is here are just community complaints from your family members who are saying you're not telling the truth, that you were a street kid. They actually feel riled that you claim that you suffered at any point in time. They feel what you've done is to animate your story so that you look like someone who God has raised, and they feel that it's unnecessary because you could still have appeared anointed. You could still preach the Bible without falsifying your upbringing. And this is what they are saying from this. So if
when you say falsifying now,
this is what they are saying from this, that is not what I am saying. This is what they are saying.
Look at how strong I am. I cannot say lies before God. That's exactly what happened to me. I can't do that.
You can't.
And the guys who are giving you that information, they don't know this information. And they have never talked to me about it.
Are you sure they've never talked to you about it?
No,
Can I bring them? Can I bring them on video, Mfundisi, and then maybe, and then
no. Just
why not? Because you're saying if they're using your name, if they're accusing you falsely.
There is nobody who even asked me what happened. We are hearing this, brother. It's brotherly level with brotherly love.
But did you agree also that you changed your name? You've changed your name publicly. Your name is now different from the way it was before.
Look at this. You are introducing too many things.
No, they are concerned, Pastor. You know what? You're a pastor in a big church. ZAOGA is not a small church, right?
I'm saying,
A church in a
is it a crime to change your name?
no, it's not a crime to change your name, but I'm just saying they are simply.
Why are you putting it through?
I'm putting it through because they are saying so, and I'm asking you because the thing is, you are still a leader in our community. And you know, when people ask you about your how authentic are you? How truthful are you? Is it bad for them to ask you questions, Pastor, and say, look, you're not being truthful?
Do you know
That you are animating your career so that you have a CV.
You are not giving me enough time to explain.
Okay, I thought you are the one who was interrupting me, so I'll keep quiet.
Why I have entertained you, you know, I did not even try to hide away or to block you or to. I wanted to explain things as they are. As you asked me.
Oh, very few people block me, by the way.
Everybody. Simba's Ganza is this an interview where you are supposed to be talking and I am quiet. Is it how you interview people?
No, go ahead. It was just a hint. It was just a hint. Please go ahead. Aiwa, taurai mfundisi.
That's how it goes.
Taurai.
The good thing is the way you come to ask. I was not even naive. I gave you this is the moment you say this came back. I know you from a background of so many things that you do. I even follow you, on your demand. So I know you from that position. And
Right.
I have actually to respond to them. That's why.
Okay.
Many people would actually say, hey, I don't want to say anything. Comment it yourself.
Oh no, of course, yeah. No, if you feel you don't want to say something.
I know you from that long background where I have been following him. So I thought probably that then I should put the thing. So if there's anybody who is doubting it, if there's anybody who is doubting it, I am putting it straight right away. You see what I mean? That's why I am giving my time with you to explain and being so casual. I'm not more formal in any way, just to explain things well.
Ayo, ndikukunzwai. Ndikukunzwai.
I don't want to appear sympathizing. I know you. I know you say a lot of good things, and you also bring in a lot of stuff. That's why exactly in that letter segment that the guy responded, so that you don't write things that I did not say.
No, of course, I really appreciate that, and do you also appreciate the questions that.
We love your work. That's the essence of what God called you to do. You are doing your work, but what is important, like I am saying, is to say the things as they have been, have been unfolded. Those guys who are saying those things, they are quite young. Do you know what I am the third born in our family, where we were 22 first with one father and several wives. My father had so many wives. Right? And those guys, I was the only boy until quite a lot of time came then. And all those people who are saying that, they are quite young. They don't even know me. They don't even know me. Because the moment I went to school, from 18 years, I never went back home. They don't know anything about me. I never went back. If I remember, I only went back once. Only once. From 18 years. Until then I went.
So,
How do you know the background of such a location?
okay.
What was happening in all these years when you were not with him? I don't know much of things that were happening in Kumusha because I'm not.
Right. Would you like me to put you on a call with them?
No. That would do. What I feel. Let me continue to pray for my brothers and my sisters. We don't want a confrontation because it adds a lot of, animosity,
But why I'm struggling why there should be confrontation, because I thought these matters, Pastor,
Let me tell you why.
Pastor, I thought they're very simple. The matters are very simple. Were you or were you not a street kid? Period. So where would the confrontation be there? They're saying you were not a street kid. You were.
Let me put my point through.
Yes.
Let me put my point through. Right? Whoever gave you, I want you to take it from this perspective. Whoever gave you that information, you know, I'm not going to say brother. Only brotherly relationship. Say, we need to know what was going on in your life. Because we were young, we didn't know. You see, then from that point now, don't you turn and no, but when he goes straight to a reporter,
No, I am Mfundisi, let me. Mfundisi, Saka.
From that,
No, inina ngava pindureka. I can't answer for them. How would I answer for them?
how things are.
Mfundisi, inini, I can't answer for them.
I'm just on a general point of view, not to opinion about it. Only general point of view. You can walk to one example, somebody somewhere. Since the Shaka Bakuna, my brothers, I want my sisters, Ako, you must not go to
And Rukunzai, but do you agree that Jesu Chacha and Bible? But do you agree that Jesu Chacha and Bible, I question, and the people who questioned him, those disciples who questioned him, who grilled him, are the ones who truly loved him and who actually were true followers. The only one who never asked questions was Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. So are you not looking for a Judas Iscariot culture where people just, the people will just keep quiet because Murihama?
That's where witchcraft comes in. Kuna somebody because pa culture yedu yo urumtorwa how that vaida ikukuja kuti yameri nyaya kuti utaura mumushameduka aitaura wachaigona kutaura kuna baba munini kudana sekuru kuti fine zvakadai zvichiitika but akaitaura manje in that kind of a position where you speak to somebody asiri amai yako ona manje it means then patone animosity ka because kana nyaya yakaisika mumuri isika mumuri ka kana yatadza kusolveka mumuri yakuri kuti yatadza kusolveka mumuri vanhu vatadza kunzwisisa zvakaitika. That's when Paulo said, let's look for a third entity to help us. See what I mean? But your manje, which doesn't answer manje with a logical eye, you will see with no. Vakana wasina mbobira vandibvunza, wasina mbobira vataura neni. Jamba all those people vanofana kunge vachikonsara kana pa any problem iripo. We have got elders in our family. They could have sorted some kind of solace. We need just to agree on this thing. You see what I mean? That's our culture. That's what we do in presenting our issues. But wakazona munhu ajamba ana baba mkuru, ajamba vana sekuru, ajamba every hierarchy that is there. Pakuya kuna somebody ausingatozi ina ndikuzivida kuti mutori muzukuru. I could say muzukuru wanzwa nani kunyaya iyi ngatidzorere kwayabva tichedare titsanangure nyaya yedu tipedzerane tinzwisisane. See what I mean? Ndokugadzirisana in a cultural way.
But do you agree?
Manje zvinhu zvakadaroka, that's when you then begin to aumbononoka wokufunga semunhu kanza akupinda papi manje.
Chikanza kan ari kupinda kapa kuti ka community yamunoshumira iyi yamuno minister iyi yamunoparidza shoko irani. Regai ndipedzeka mufundisi. Regai ndipedzewo ka anditi mamuchitaura pana ndakanyarara ka ndanti mandibvunza imi mubvunzo saka ndakuudzaiwo ka kuti chikanza ari kupinda papi. Yeah, mufundisi chikanza ari kupindawo papo kuti ka community iyi kwamuri kushumirawo koko community iyoyi community vanoitwawo saved nachikanza zvekare. Number 2 mufundisi, bhaibheri iriri bhuku dzvene iriri ramunoona iriri ibhuku rakanyorwa nemajournalists. Munoagreea. A lot of them vanga vatori majournalists vaitonyora vaitota journal handitika zvinhu zviri kuitika. Saka zvinhu zvatinenge chita izvi mufundisi chida kuita fact check. Hazisirizvo here zvinotaurwa naPauro kuti hanzi test all spirits, ask, try all things. Hazisirizvo zvinotaurwa naPauro hanzi try all things, test all things, and then hold on to what is true. Hazisirizvo. Hazisirizvo here. Zvakazoitwa zviya Pauro paakazoaproacha Peter as well. Akazoda akazotsiura Peter akati Peter iwe hausi kumira zvakanaka, unofanira kudai hazisirizvo. Saka chikanza ndo paanopinda ipapaya nokutika community yamunofidha iyi public haisi mhuri. Imi munoparidza and this is your profession now. You are now someone who is in the public facing type of career where people will always ask questions. Vanhu vanonongobvunza ikoti mufundisi ko zviri kureva chii nhasi makapfeka sutu yered, sei mapfeka sutu yered? Hazisirizvo.
izvozvo manje hamusoro kuti zvakasiyana analogy
aiwa zvakafanana kanokuti vanhu vanobvunza background yekuti munhu ari kuvhura bhuku dzvene uyu kwatiri uyu mufundisi
havagoni kupikisa background yangu ka havanogona kupikisa zvavari kuona zvavari kuona right now kuti kosutui but background yangu the way
but ukukupikisa here nai mufundisi kungovhunza kuti
ndinayo inini
but mufundisi kuti kungovhunza chete kungoti apa mataura kuti mimi muri street kid apa mufundisi apa mawedzera apa izvo hasirizvo apa madii kupagadzira kupikisa here ikoko kuti zvamataura imimi kuti mu Salisbury 1978 aiwa ndatopedza mubvunzo wangu ndapedza mubvunzo wangu
ndati nini imimi manjera hamugoni kuedita nyaya yangu
aiwa ka apo chanda edita chiinai
kuedita kana mukange makunditaura kuti mimi hamuna handimabvera kumuchingotaura nyaya yenyu yekuti in the CBD zvanga zvisina kudaro saka it could be lie and things like that ndikakutsanangurira ndikati no the things that were there ndikakutsanangurirai kuti mwana anogona kuprotecta vanhu in a way that is amazing, you know. He could not even take it. Saka imimi muruda kuedita nyaya yangu ka yamusingazive maona manje that is inenge ya assassination manje iyoyo because when I tell you kuti shamari pane zvawatibvunza ka zvakafamba so imimi manje makazo nditi it did not work that way.
Yes.
Makuedita nditi nyaya yangu inini
aiwa kungokuvhunza mufundisi kuvhunza mubvunzo kuti so that kana vanhu vakuzoverenga panapa nepenyuro vakuzoverenga kuti aiwa Pastor Michael Vareta Forward in Faith ZAOGA United Kingdom pavakataura icho mibvunzo around questions around what he said about his upbringing have been clarified by this. After it has been raised that it is impossible, it would have been impossible for a black person to live in the CBD Salisbury in 1978. And so people then can get a fuller story. Is that editing?
But it's no benefit. Who is benefiting there?
It's so who is benefiting? It is okay. Let me make it clear. Let me make it clear. There are three people, three clusters. So let me explain. So let me answer you. Yes. So let me answer you. Oh no. So let me answer. You said who is it benefiting? So number one, right? It benefits your family, the people and your friends who have given witness that you are not at all a street kid because they feel, okay, look, this story has been answered. Number one, okay? Number two, it benefits your own career, your career and things and questions around your career the people who listen to you when you are preaching the Bible to them, when you're preaching Jesus to them, those people, they get clarification that our pastor, after all, he did not lie. For instance, if that is the case, that you didn't lie. So they will get, so then basically what they're getting is clean content that is coming from a source that did not deceive them, who did not animate his background for the agenda of scamming them. The point is here, Mfundisi, is you looking like a scammer. Don't you agree? Would you want to look like a scammer, Pastor Vareta?
Wambotaura nyaya yemajournalists. It's true. Vese vakanyora most of the people vakanyora especially the New Testament, they were journalists.
More from Moses who wrote Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and the like. Those men, you're right.
You are my friend. Remember, I said I follow you.
No, I hear you. Shoot, yeah.
Ndinozokanganwa inomanga vakomana vaye vakanyoroka katika pamenzani somanje Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. Gospel is not gospels, but when you look into it, right, you're but the same issue,
yes,
but same event, you would find Mumachi record something else.
Yes.
Spiritual discernment, spiritual interpretation, where now you can reconcile the scriptures together and come up with one thing. See what I mean? But they were reporting the same issues that were happening in the life of Jesus. And the Shishinji Zato, if you look at Luke, Mark, they were not eyewitnesses. Right ones were. Zakadai. As soon as I was going to go with the Japanese, they are supposed to be highly spiritual, you know, highly. But there's a time because I can go for any preaching somehow, you know, because you bring the truth to the people.
And you feel I'm not spiritual.
I think that this is the general point.
Okay.
You go to my journalist. Anofana kuzozwa zvaizikutika naakutauraga arege kunyepawo futi, arege kuwedzera, arege kutaura zvisina kutaurwa, arege kufadza vanhu nokuda kwokuti ndo varipota vasingazive nyaya dzakaitika. But I'm not sure exactly as it is. Ornament. That's what I think, because a wonderful analogy. Journalists who wrote the Bible, they wrote in different ways, but pointing Christ at the same time. But vachishandisa their own way, vasingawedzere. But nyaya imwe chete iyoyo ichingobuda yemukadzi aibuda ropa yakangobuda iyo, but the way yakapresentwa naLuke is different from Matthew. See what I mean? So this is where you come in now. What I mean at length like this, I'm not denying anything. I'm just giving you points, and I can repeat them without stammering, because I know exactly what happened. You see. Ndaikuti tinombosangana simbaka ndaikuudza nhoroondo yangu ndinetoite bhuku randiri kunyora ezvandakasangana nazvo ndisati ndatoita calling yaMwari, ndisati ndakuziva kuti Mwari ari kundidana. Ndasangana nemapressures akasiyana okurwiswa asingatoiti in my life, you see. Saka I'm not surprised kana vanhu vakauya that way again. I also see it as the works of the devil, because honestly I could have talked to my brothers in harmony, right? And it's explaining to them nicely. No, you see, and I was not dodgy. I think we need another platform. I am free. Let's go wherever you want. I can continue to say the same things, because in Dindaka Shitirwa. You will
So,
never forget your testimony. Remember, you
so,
will never.
oh, thank
There's
you.
nobody who will forget what happened to him in life, especially when it was so bad. You can continue to remember, but you can forgive. So, but some of those things affects afterward. You continue to review them. That kind of a thing.
So you see, so people, thank you for just appreciating in that. They can raise questions, and my invitation still stands, Pastor, to you, to get together with these individuals. I can bring them on a program, and you can answer them. I know you seem to not to be wanting, but I still invite you. And I need you to understand. Pastor, hear me here. This matter of these accusations, they don't just hang on you. They hang on other people also around you. I mean, you already know that even the founder of your church, ZAOGA, FIF, is accused of animating his own story, his own background. And of course, I don't want to go there, but I'm sure you have seen these things over the time. And he's not here to answer for this. He made before he died. He did make statements that were totally contradictory to what he has been preaching of the Bible and around his background. So when it comes to you, Pastor, your case is just about you, so I'm not going to touch all the other people. I'm not going to touch them. It's just you yourself, and and it should we touch something else, then it will be something else. But I think you must have seen even the commotion in Akaitika after someone made a statement that Guti's spirit was seen in Birmingham, running up and down, flanked by two angels, and that those statements were made backed by Guti's own daughter, who is the leader of the church. And so I'm saying these statements, these things, they're something else. The public vanovunza now, the same way that even in the Bible, the disciples used to ask Jesus questions, and those who did ask questions, you agree, they were true disciples. Those who didn't ask questions are those who actually saw Jesus, or the person who saw Jesus. So we have a community that is asking questions the same way that the other disciples were asking questions, same way that people always wanted to know, what is this? We're being preached the Bible, we're being told this about God, but this doesn't seem to connect to facts. So that is what it is about you, Pastor Vareta. I don't know what else you could say, maybe as we end, that could help to just clarify.
Yes. The ideal position that I would actually take, Simba.
Yes.
I will address you as my friend, because we talked about is to create a forum where I explain to my brothers outside you. And if you give me your number, I will call you. I will call you and tell you what would have transpired. I will definitely tell you, because I'm not somebody who hides things. I'm not somebody who is fraudulent. I stand in for the true gospel. I'm one of those guys, who will not preach anything other than Jesus. I don't preach anything, nothing. I stand on Christ and what he has done. See what I mean? So I think outside...
But on this one, it's about you now. This one is about your own story. Let's maybe put Jesus out, because he's not here to defend himself or to answer. It's about you, your own name and your background that you are claiming. Yeah, I know. No, but I'm saying we can't smuggle Jesus into a matter that's relating to a fact here of one being a street kid or not being a street kid for 9 months in Salisbury, 1978?
Okay. So I think without any further ado, the ideal thing, Simba, I don't hate my brothers. I did not cross any path with any of my brothers. We are many brothers. And you know, we shout, not even one. So if there is a position that we can take, they can approach me and we talk it over. And I will give you the results of our talk. Because I think it is good. You know, you standing as a judge or as a king, you cannot see some mambo. And yet we are brothers. If they
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that, Pastor. Because thank you.
You will remediate and it will pakati. And yet there is no issue. Atina pataka sangana tikataura nyaya tikatadza kuwirirana. You see where I'm coming from? Atina pataka mboti, okay brother, nyaya mukutora atina kumbenzwisisa. Atina and the top ipapo tese tisina kuita se tisina kuwirirana. But if we are still alive, I'm still alive in their life, wherever they are, there is a Zoom platform where we can talk about it. Guys, you know, Nemufaro. So that, you know, we don't create a lot of Kuvengana Mumuri. You see, I can clarify every detail, everything to them. I'm ready. But whether we did, because we can go with a picture, to me now, it betrays my faith. And the Shanti size so much Nemuri angry. There are outsiders who are implicating me. I could, but as part of the family, we need to resolve it at that level. And at that time, then we can move to the next platform. I am free. I'm ready. Let them come. Let them open up a debate, or if they want to debate with me, and I explain everything. And some of the things that they don't even know, I can explain it there. Which is I will tell them all those issues. It's not right. It's not right. It's not even good at all. It's not even good. It's not right. We believe we are all moralists. You know, you should know that I could know which is I could know. So I think that the only position that we can take, if you can agree with me, I have no problem. I can explain myself clearly. They are too young to actually, understand my life. Nobody. I have never even spoken to my brothers, not even to my mother, not even to anybody about how I grew up. Not even to anybody. But if they want to hear my story, I'm ready. You pick it up, and I speak to them the whole thing, the whole narrative.
Because as I told you before, it's not just your relative; they're also your friends. And I don't know why. Can I send you these recordings, Pastor? Can I send you these recordings right now, please? Can I, please? Because I know you don't want.
No. Simba, I think you are not getting it.
No. I'm also kudaire. The thing is, hold on. What I'm saying is, these are people. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. I've got recordings.
I don't want you to take the center stage.
No, but what I'm saying is, hold on, Mfundisi.
Why should I speak to them?
No. People. It's not just family. They're also your colleagues. Ndisaka ndataura inini kuti izvi havana kuya kwandiri muri kundinzwisisa. chinhu ichichi chapararira publicly. Hold on mfundisi, regai nditaure munzwisise, regai chirega ndipedze mfundisi munenge muri kungondikata. Ndiri kuti inini Pastor Vareta, members of the public, including your family and friends, are talking about this now because they have seen how we have been publishing over the time of matters relating to similar instances regarding personalities inside the church, ZAOGA, Forward in Faith, regarding their background. They have begun to do what they claim is connecting the dots. They're saying, look, we're connecting the dots here. Folks, here, church inevanu vanogadzira masivi, vanogadzira background yekunyepa so that they can sell themselves as anointed. They appear as if they were once poor, they were dejected, and now God has raised them so people should trust them. So these people manufacture an atmosphere of trust, building on false stories. And the latest example here, Tinayo, Pastor Michael Vareta here, a man who even changed his name. And not just that, they claim, look, we're presenting here evidence that you've also changed your own story, your background. You were never a street kid for 8 months in Salisbury, 1978. This is what they are saying. And they're saying, look, this is so similar to what even Ezekiel Guti did. For him to spend 70 years claiming that he's preaching the Bible, when in actual fact he was preaching himself. He was preaching his career that he created of himself, claiming that he is a believer of God, when in actual fact he's a ritualist who takes Mabonzo corpse remains from graves so that he can get magic powers for longevity or whatever, if that makes sense. And so they're saying, look, this seems to be exactly the same thing. We were dejected. Look at Michael Vareta. Ask me, when are you? So I've got these recordings. I'm also wondering why, Pastor, you don't want me to give you these recordings.
The reason why I'm distributing, I think you can, I don't know how to put it, because you want to force me to go your way, right? If you ask me, like, no doubt is very saying, I told you, I don't think it's not to.
So you want to end it secretly. Let's just delete these audios. Simbachikanza chingo delete, chingo disregard my audios. I usama publish, because you know what I said in Nini Pastor when I had these recordings. I said to myself, I'm not going to publish this unless I get my facts. I have to get to you first. Ndatombogara for over 2 weeks or so now. Ndakangogara and ndatomboite anything. I said, you know what? I will need to talk to the pastor first and get his story, because these are not small allegations. To manufacture a CV, kugadzira a background, so that someone has got an animated career for purpose of religious business is not small. Do you agree? It's not a small thing, and your church is not a small institution in our Zimbabwe community. It's well attended. It's trusted by a lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm not talking of Pandaka and also my Christian faith. I pay that leeway. You could in the Italy never Hamadzangu phone. She said to the Hogatisan, Pungetaka Kona Nakamu. I think you understand where I'm coming from. Unless you just wanted to publish what you think, right? But if they are so true in what they gave you, like I have told you, kuna munhu anomboziva background kana one hakuna munhu anoziva makuriro angu. They were too young to hear to know my story. Vafana vesa. I'm 65 and vafana, they don't know. Saka ndikakutana nguri ndainini manje kuti kana vachida kunzwa upenyu hwangu, it's not hidden. Andina kana kandinovanza. And some of the people who were involved in all the things that I went through, they are dead now. They are dead, they are no more. You see, saka ndinapire inini pa platform yekutaura ne amadangu atina patakapopotedzana hapana patakarwa hapana patakambosvikira kuti cross my line, nothing. I grew up as a cool guy and handingambobvira ndaita misikanzwa yekuneta vabereki or anything, nothing of the sort. Hapana kana munin'ina wangu ndakatombosimudzana naye kana kudini, not even one. Saka ndikazoona manje nini, if you take me from where I'm coming from, ndikazoona manje iwo wakuzotiponera. That's not raised my eyebrows.
Right. It's the story is not about kunetsana mfundisi. The story is not about that. The story. Hold on there. The complaint is about, because you know what? This is their name. Hold on, mfundisi. This is also your family's name, ZAOGA, right? This is also your own friends' reputation, because these are friends who watched you growing up. And so they feel riled. They're talking about this publicly. As a pastor, as a pastor, you are beyond a journalist. Mutori munhu wakutoteka at any time munofanira kuita answer kuma allegations, especially anenga achita, because do you know what, level renyuka mune level ye authority over human beings, their mental health, their physical health. You could even end people's lives at any time. You've got that authority. And so, because of that, you're in such a high position of trust, Pastor Veretta. That is the point. So for people now, Sakamurimun as someone of trust, no, please, you've got to fix this, because this does not connect the facts issues.
That's true. And I doubt that. I'm not sick of audience.
And that's what they've done. Those are right mfundisi. Okay, taurai mfundisi. Aiwa taurai pizza.
My point is very clear, Simba. You know, I am so liberal, I'm so free to even any of my brothers. I can speak to them without any noise. But I don't know what if there is anybody who wants to know, it was good and prudent to speak to me as a brother. You see, hanzvadzi yenyu kunoku achitaura zvimwe zvinhu through behind your back, would you call that a good relationship that is actually happening there? It's not a good relationship. So we need then to agree now, if you really want to know what happened to me, if you doubt my story, let me pick it up there. Like this. My relationships are tight, man.
Zvino manje inini manje ka handisi hama manje handisi muri kuona handisi hama.
That's why you are not supposed to be there.
But ndiri kutaura kana zvazosvika kwandiri, don't you think? Pedzai
Vakakuudzai nyaya manje. They must come back to you kuti imi murume ari kuti zvakati tachibata chokwadi chake zvanga achitaura ndezvokuti imimiwo mutozonzwawo kuti that's exactly what he said to me. You get a full picture of what was going on, because we don't want to create hatred pakati pedu sefamily. No, nokuti nyaya iyo kana yakazonzwika tikati waburisa nemaburisiro okuti kundiita kuti assassinate, haipendere ipapo. No.
You see, Mfundisi, I would not. Mfundisi,
open a can of worms.
Mfundisi, do you agree that people...
Unfounded.
Do you agree? But Mfundisi, do you agree that these people are who complain about, they already feel assassinated. They feel you have assassinated their reputation as a family. You have assassinated their reputation as, you have claimed that you were a street kid when you're not. It means that you were neglected when you were not.
When you put it that way, then it means you already have made a conclusion already.
So do you want me to declare something that myself I've got no evidence for, something that you yourself you have failed to prove?
And evidence remains the script writer.
Those are not, but so you want me to sell so you want me to sell what you have said and adopt it as my own testimony, when in actual fact it doesn't connect to the facts, the reality of Rhodesia 1978, Salisbury, CBD. No, Mfundisi, it doesn't connect. How can I sell your story about Rhodesia 1978, Salisbury, as a 20-year-old? Living in the CBD for 9 months in Rhodesia 1978, at the peak of the war, when black people were suspected of everything left, right, and center. And you're in the CBD in Salisbury, and you're claiming that this is your background, and you've never, Mfundisi, but you've never talked about. Sorry? But what I'm saying is you have never brought out, the real testimony there would have been how I survived Salisbury, hold on here, hold on, Pastor, during those 8 months, let's just say that there were not 9 months that you have said that you were in Salisbury, CBD, hold on, 8 months, let's just say it wasn't 8 months, let's just say it was 8 minutes, okay, just 8 minutes. Okay, of course it wouldn't be 8 minutes, maybe 8 hours. Your story would be right now on Facebook over the last 10 years. Since you posted this in 2011, over the last 13 years, your story would have been how I survived being a street kid in Rhodesia in 1978 and was never shot, I was never arrested, I was never accused of anything. When I was a 20-year-old who could have just been sent by the terrorists to cause harm. I survived in that small, tiny CBD where anyone, especially black people, can be spotted.
Right.
No, don't you think that would have made sense? No, hold on, Pastor Vareta. Don't you think that your testimony of God's intervention, of God raising you up to become an anointed man of God, would have made sense if you had said, "Look, I survived Ian Smith, Muzorewa 1978, Salisbury, at a time when I could have been arrested." And now so how can I tell myself, right, let's say tomorrow morning I have to put this in the news, this is assumed, right, I have to put this as a major headline. How will people take me if I just tell them, Pastor Vareta told you the truth? He was truly a street kid in 1978, and he stayed in Salisbury CBD for 8 months, and you need to believe him because he told me last night. So, do you think that people would take me seriously?
You already journalism. Probably the way you want them to knit it and put together in and this will go nations. In any daughter we're at the point that you can't be what you can't buy. In any situation there are junctions where you can feel but you will imagine your own way of seeing how things could have been happening, like you are saying. And it Saka you cannot edit my story to your favor. But you are good, feel good.
Why are you imagining editing, Pastor Vareta? The biggest story. Hold on, Pastor Vareta. Do you agree that your testimony, your testimony, how would I edit your testimony when right now, hold on, when in actual fact it is you who is trying to edit history for over 45 years right now. The biggest story that is told and is very factual. You couldn't get into the CBD if you're a black person. That is the biggest story. So you are trying to say that a black person could actually stay in the CBD for 8 months and not be touched and not be accused of anything, not be arrested. A 20-year-old black Rhodesian in the middle of the war. So who is editing? Between you and me? No, between you and me? Who is editing a story right now? Who is editing history? Between you and me. And don't you think you've got a lot of work to do, Pastor Vareta? You've got a lot of work to do to make your story understandable. Do you agree? Do you agree that you've got a lot of editing to do? No, Pastor Vareta, do you agree that you've got a lot of explaining to do? Aiwaka ndabvunza tatopedza akusi kushauta kungovhunza zvakanaka kuti munoramba here kuti mufundisi kuti mune basa mune mutoro wekugadzira kuti nyaya yenyu inzwisisiki nekuti haisi kubatika nyaya yenyu iyi ichada kueditwa kuti inzwisisiki. Hamuiedita.
If you don't believe me, then I have no other way to convince you. That's the only thing that I can tell you. Because kana musinga tutendi kuti pane vakapukunyuka muhondo chaimo mshenga mabullets. Vakatobata futi vari kurwiswa. Autendi kuti pane vakapukunyuka. Unofunga kuti munhu wese akafa. Then it means kana kakutaura story yangu ininga you would think the same.
Ndina kutaura nezvehondo tataura nezvemuCBD. Those are tataura kuti zvemuCBD kuti the real story, your testimony that testimony yenyu iyo ndiye muri kuedita history. Tokuti editor katokupa ibasa rekuti rekuedita history.
Inini manje andigona kunyepa kuedita kunyepa anditi.
Ai wakakuedita akusi necessarily kunyepa. Munogona kana imimi mchiti mfundisi kuedita akusi kunyepa inini kana otherwise mune makuti kana ndiri munyepi kana wasn't basa rangu, right? So basa rangu ndiyo title yangu rega ndipedze kamfundisi rega ndipedze. Thank you very much. Saka imimika, don't you think you need to edit? Because shokorero kuti edit iroroka takarita ngoti ndire ngonyepa chete handitika then aye wakati ninge tatota sei kuedita kunogona ngorora kuti zvinhu zvaya hazvisi kuconnecta nemafacts. Saka you need to edit mfundisi kuti zvinhu zvenyu zvinzwisisike nekuti runyere kupe uru kwauri mfundisi. I think you agree with me now kuti runyere kupe uru ruri kuitika handitika it's beyond your family. This is community. Why? Because story yenyu hainzwisisiki. Story yenyu haisi kuconnecta nema-facts. In 1978, Rhodesia, Salisbury, CBD, a black person, a black 20-year-old man who actually comes from Mataura and Mimikut, you come from Anikal and Chipinge, right? And you are in the CBD in 1978 loitering for 8 months running. You have given me the detail. It's you who's given me. I've not added any detail. It's you who's given me the detail.
To conclude in your way. You see, I don't know what you journalism here.
Mfundisi inini I don't know kuti inini I don't know kuti ndo pastor here iwo wekuti munoramba imimi kuadressa my matters are raised or my matters of fact. I just don't know, because do you know what? I have also, hold on, Pastor. I'm not anti-Christian. I'm not anti-Christian. Hold on. I'm not as you know, I'm not anti-Christian. I was actually raised Christian, and you already know it yourself. So I'm not anti-pastor. I'm not anti-Christian here, but I'm just asking, I'm also wondering myself, is this what a pastor, it means to be a pastor? That you just don't want to address facts. You always throw the name God and the name Jesus when you simply need to address someone else who is not part of a matter of mere yes or no. And you want here to obfuscate a simple answer here relating to facts. There are no facts, or they are facts. And yet, so my point is this, Pastor. I also wonder if this is what it means to be a pastor, or a pastor in ZAOGA, forward in faith. I don't know, but yeah, Pastor. Let me end, because it's very late now. We've been talking for over an hour. Take your time tonight, right, to think about this. I still invite you, right, to accept the recordings that I'm sending. You still don't want me to send you these recordings. And number two, I don't know why you don't want to hear them. And then number two, you don't seem... why kungobanza kunzwa kuti vanhu vari kucomplaina mfundisi ava. Hold on, mfundisi. These people are your own colleagues. Vanhu ava makakura navo. You grew up with these people. They know you personally, and they are complaining. They are showing here, so far they've already proven that you changed your own name. And so these are people who are simply asking public trust questions to someone who holds a public trust office. An office that you have agreed with me requires a lot of care, respect, because ndimi munotakura masouls evanhu imimi. Masouls amwari, vanhu vakasikwa nemufananidzo wamwari vamunotungamirira mukereke. So simply, I will leave you with this. Take your time, think about this. I will invite you to a live interview where you will be with these people, and you motaura mo addressa kana paine kana inini ndarasikawo. I'm sure kuti munokwanisa kudaro. That is my invitation. That is the second thing. But the first thing, which is the most important here, which is very simple, which you could even just do privately, right, is to at least listen to the statements, because the statements are not coming from me. These are your own relatives and friends who are complaining. I don't know why you don't want to hear these statements in Fundisi, so that you can just address them. Monzo ndi text tera mondo zauti simbachikanza zvinhu zvataurwa zvezvi apapo point 1, point 2, point 3. No, this is not true, or that is true. And then shobva changoperawo. That one is very simple, because you could still avoid a live interview through that. Even that you don't even want. That simple thing you don't even want. But the best thing that you could do here, Pastor, which is important, and this one is because they are very serious allegations. These allegations are not just against you, but they're also even against your church and your church founder. You do know that there are matters of consistency that are challenging, extremely challenging, even about Ezekiel Kuti, that people do not understand, the public do not understand how and how on earth that is Christianity, the things that he practiced and that are practiced even today. And so, but I'll leave that. You yourself, your own story requires a response. Allow me to go, Pastor Veretta, and we shall speak soon. You've got my number.
Should I not respond to what you
I thought you've responded quite elaborately for over an hour, Pastor.
You have just been repeating.
For over an hour, I've just been repeating, but I thought, I'm sure if I was to play you this recording, I'll send you a copy of this, right? You can see many times when you've been talking nonstop and I've been quiet and getting responses from you. So allow me to go, Pastor. Take your time. You can phone me later on. I intend to take another 2 days working on this, listening to what you gave us responses, and then I intend to publish some time. Let me see. Today's Thursday. Sometime Friday night or Saturday morning. Saturday morning, let me give you a deadline of Saturday morning. So put it at Friday midnight, please. Yeah. Thank you very much, Pastor Vereta. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Kana wazwisisa zvandataura inini hangu kutaura chokwadi handigoni kutaura nevanhu hama dzangu on this platform ngatichaurira netega tigopedzerana tega kana paine zvavanoda kuzoendesa kwaurika vanoenda nazvo kwauri vona vapedzerana nazvo.
Hold on here, Pastor. I've already told you once again, and you are the one who's repeating. I think you can see here. The people who are complaining are not just your relatives. They're also your friends. They're also the public. And these matters, I'm sure you've already seen them. They've been published already in the public domain. My background has connected my facts. You say that you're preaching Jesus, you're preaching the Bible, but at the same time, what you say and what is the truth, they don't seem to connect. So basically, you have an accountability issue as a preacher of the Bible. And I'm sure even Pamutemo, munomu UK, mamure munomu Britain, neko Zimbabwe, Charities Commission also requires you to answer matters relating to trust, particularly where things like identity have been changed. You've changed your name, and then your account also as someone who is receiving public funding in the UK. The Charities Commission also, Pamutemo, and the UK law requires you to answer to matters like, so it's not a family thing, understand, because it's an issue of public trust. And you have a lot of responsibility, but kunamwari, even to God Almighty, you also have a responsibility to answer these things. Like the way Jesus did. Jesus never asked for a private discussion. Jesus used to talk about things publicly. When he was challenged, even by his enemies, hold on, Pastor, by his enemies, even by the disciples, he never asked for a private chit chat. Jesus would speak out if someone asks him of a matter relating to facts where what he has said doesn't seem to make sense. He would answer immediately. And Paul of Tarsus, who wrote 2/3 of the New Testament, a preacher who lived most of his life after conversion, advising on how Christian life should be. He was also a fact checker, and he was also someone you could question, you could grill. Why gonna kumupinza opa interview, and the EAO aitoma interviews na EA wachuna EA. And in Acts 20 verse 32 to 35, he gave an instruction of how true Christian leadership should be. He made it very clear, and you can read it for yourself. So I'm using that very same script, from the book that you practice as a profession, Pastor Vereta. So I'm going to have to leave you. Take your time. Thank you. Thank you. You've got my number. Thank you, sir. You've got my number. I'm going to have to go because Tatauri said.
I'm not going to come back to you.
Okay, thank you very much then. If you don't, then that's fine. So I'll have to go to publish then. Thank you very much, sir.
That's okay.
Thank you.
During that time, ideally, vanhu vaimanikirwa kana kumusha kwaitwa call up kuti vanhu vema age group ava vachitorwa either maitorwa nemagananga or maitorwa nesmith regime kuti munotraina and then you fight. But we find it 21 year old.
Even in the UK right now, that's the age that they are working to. They are hoping to conscript, isn't it, into the army right now?
Yes.
To put into the army for the Ukraine war. That is a whole discussion that that is undergoing. So, in bloody Rhodesia, that was faced with sanctions and a war inside.
Yeah, because if that was gonna be a true story, because being a street kid during a wartime, is actually somewhat very different from the street kids that we have today. Where there's peace, there's so many people throw food into the bins because of the population, because the city center could not be so populated like now, you know. Makapedza basa na 5 mimi muchishanda kuna first maifana kutobuda mchienda faster hapana munongotenderera zvezvo kunzi murire motopinda mazemu mabhazi mazemu aimautorwa pasi but only for someone to tell us that no, he was staying there in the city. That's nonsense. angamboenda kunodii kuharare achiti I'm shuffling from Harare nechitungwiza ndinofamba ndichiti takabva kuharare nenda kuchitungwiza chidzoka dai mari yebhazi yacho raiwana ku no, he tried to manufacture nonsense, but we are not going to buy that. We just want him to apologize to the family for that, because that's a big diss. The family, we can't take that. Because if ever there is a reason why people fight for their country, it's for the pride they have for their country. And we carry that pride even from family level. That's where it starts, you know? We can't have that. Whatever his reasons for saying that, but to us, he has to say sorry for actually saying that statement, which actually downgrades the family.
For money.
For money. Fame.
and power over people.
Power over people. No wonder why. The question is, if you say you are as good as you are, say we know kwanta kutende usakana munhu wani wekufamily kwako yakutete, because they would discover the lie. They would discover the lie the moment they are there. Unotenda usava hope. I saw this video when you were saying that, no, I'm seeing a goblin. Kana wane power ukona goblin. You have got the power to call
Goblins.